Listen to me. Out there in Grandfather's barn, it's waiting. A hideous monster more horrible than anything out of an idiot's nightmare. I know. I've seen it. There's really a dinosaur in Grandfather's barn. Grandfather, come quickly! You wouldn't believe me, but now you'll see it. My name is Billy Corbett. I'm 14 years old, and I had never been out of New York City until 2 weeks ago. Billy, your grandfather wants you to spend the summer with him. Oh, I'm a cinch to pitch for our team this year. Besides, who wants to live on an old farm? You're going, like it or not. A few months in the country will do you good. Ah, rats. Nothing ever happens on a farm. All the guys say. Boy, was I dumb. Wait until you hear what did happen to me. I know you'll have fun. Grandfather's farm is right next to the Ice Caves National Monument. I'll be okay. Don't worry, Mom. Aboard! All aboard! The miles sped by. I'd never seen so many vacant lots laid down side by side before. A guy could loose a dozen Ebbets Fields out there. A night and a day later. What a dump. No, nothing. So you're Billy. Jump in, boy. Yes, sir. But do we have far to go? A spooky looking place. Never saw anything like it. That's our home. The cliffs. Well, I guess you could call them spooky. No one really knows those cliffs. They're more ice than rock. Date back at least to the last glacial age, maybe further. Glad to meet you, ma'am. Say, isn't it kind of chilly out here for this time of year? We're too close to the ice cliffs. Never really gets warm here. I had a hard time falling to sleep that night. It was too quiet. No L, no traffic, no nothing. Well, I could have pitched this afternoon instead of being in this dumb old place. When I started looking around the next morning, though, I started to change my mind a little. Boy, look at him go! Wonder if I'll get to ride him. Look at his face. Charge! We're a tank in Korea! Then one day, several days later, at the dinner table. How would you like it if I took the day off and we visited the ice cliffs tomorrow? Boy, would I! Oh dear, do be careful. I just know there's some peculiar about those awful cliffs. Bright and early the next morning. What are those dark places? Caves? Yes, through the centuries the sun has melted back into the cliffs, making caverns which have never been really explored. This ice once slowly pushed down from the North Pole like a gigantic slow-motion flood. Then it's not all ice. It must have picked up a lot of other junk as it came. It looks like big rocks and trees back there. Well, you're right. There are even those who claim the ice picked up more than just junk, that it picked up and entombed prehistoric animals as well. Look! Right there! There's one of those ancient monsters. Billy, that monster is your own shadow. Come on, we'll be getting back. All the rest of the day, I couldn't get the strange cliffs of ice out of my mind. Wait until the gang back home hears of this. Whew. It's cold even if the sun is boiling down. Today is the hottest I've ever seen it here. Creek's high. Sun melted a lot of ice today. Well, what if it melted one of those monsters out? Well, don't say that, Billy. But even if it did, they'd be dead. Nothing can live for over 70,000 years. Nothing. With that, the subject was dropped. Later, when I was in bed. The horses are acting up. Maybe there's something in the barn? I'll slip down and take a look. Well, I'd better take it easy. They're sure scared of something. I wish I had a gun. Well, just then, Tabby! Crushed! I guess I was just too dumb to be afraid. For even after that, I walked on toward the barn. I have nothing strong enough to throw a big goat that far. I'd better get out of here. But as I turned, I saw it. I made it back to the house. How, I'll never know. Grandfather! Grandfather, there's a monster in the barn! Calm down, boy. Monster or just your shadow, like back there in the ice cliff? Hurry! You killed the cat and the goat? Are you certain? Now remember, you're a city boy. Don't know much about farm ways. I know a smashed animal when I see one. Besides, I saw the monster too. Saw it? What did it look like? Well, it had a thick neck higher than the barn and a huge head that looked like a lizard. A dinosaur. That's what they look like in the encyclopedia. But they're extinct. They've been dead for 70,000 years. Dinosaur? Bosh! But I'll get dressed and bring my gun. Now you wait for me, Billy. Wait, nothing. It may try to get away. I'll go down and see where it goes. I hurried back out into the chill night wind. Wow, a dinosaur! A genuine extinct dinosaur in Grandfather's barn. No one back on 3rd Avenue can top this. Suddenly, almost over my head, as I watched, I wanted to scream, but I couldn't utter a sound. Then the monstrous beast turned and lumbered back into and through the barn. It overturned the lantern! The barn is on fire! All over, Billy. It's leaving. Grandmother has already called the state police. Minutes, hours later. Well, when Billy said there was a dinosaur in the barn, I laughed just as you are, but then I saw it too. Yeah, and how about the crushed horse and the big feet prints? It could be. Those scientists from the state university said there were undoubtedly prehistoric animals trapped in those ice cliffs, and today was a scorcher. On your way, boys. Track it down. But hours later, dinosaur tracks all right. Trailed it to the swamps to the south and lost it. Don't worry, we'll get it. We've got to. Don't worry, he says. I can't help it. I've seen it. And it's alive somewhere. Somewhere out in the night, right now. You've got to be on the watch for it. The dinosaur that was out of Grandfather's barn. Pteranodon was the giant among nature's flying beasts. Its wings spread more than 27 feet. Scientists who study its fossil remains tell us that Pteranodon lived in this world as far back as 60 million years ago. Another form of flying reptile was Rhamphorhynchus. Although much smaller than Pteranodon, it was armed with sharp teeth. Its long tail was used as a rudder in flight. It lived during the Jurassic period between 155 to 120 million years ago. It is scientific theory that every beast in history comes from the sea. The elements of the sea are found in the living cells of every living creature. As the dinosaurs were the unchallenged tyrants of the earth, so several reptiles held tyrannical sway in the seas of the Mesozoic age. Great sea creatures were the giants of the deep, but the most rapacious of all marine lizards was Tylosaurus, who terrorized the oceans above what is now the state of Kansas. Measuring 25 feet in length, every inch of Tylosaurus was a killer.